Alright guys, this is part 2 of Harvest Moon in the Beginning. So last time we ended off by taking care of the cow we got. And I said I was gonna be planting some stuff. So we're gonna do just that. And we'll start letting our cow graze as well. I just have to grow the grass first. And yeah, I believe I gave Neil a treat and I talked to him already, so we're good there. I don't know if I went through the the forest and the mountain and the river, but I'll probably skip today. I don't want to go every day because I want to give I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably skip a day or two every time to give the place a chance to kind of recollect, or not recollect. What's the word I'm looking for? Accumulate. I think that's for lack of better words, the forageables again. Plus, I just want to get through spring. Spring is kind of your first spring. It's just kind of boring. Don't get me wrong. This game is fun, all things considered, but believe me, you want to get through spring because you won't really be able to fully enjoy the game until it's October. I mean, what October? Until it's summer. Why did I say October? Okay. So Emma's down here. A lot of times she just disappears for some reason, so it's hard to really befriend her, but we'll talk to her. I'm not really in a place to be buying those expensive cocoa packs right now, so we'll just talk to her. She only needs 2,000, I believe. She needs 2,000 EXP. Then we have to get through, complete the first 2 town restoration objectives. Then we should unlock the tailor shop. And then we have to build the tailor shop in order to get our first sheep. Now, I'm not going to be including that in my Wattpad project based on this game, because that's just ridiculous. I think sheep should be available from the get-go. Cows, sheep, and chicken. I don't mind other animals being, having to wait a certain time or having to, get through a certain objective. But sheeps, come on, yeah. I'll probably have them be available from the get-go. But then again, it's gonna take a while for me to even be able to get a sheep, so we'll see. Like not just in this Let's Play, but in the story as well. Alright, so this is what I mean when I said in the last episode that it's grayed out. We haven't milked her, so we're going to do that. And the beauty of grass is you don't have to water it. I like to water it, like, you know, when I'm first planting it. Just because you know, just in case. I don't know if the first time is required, but I've never been too sure about that. So I just water it the first time. Oh my goodness, 3 honeycombs. Oh hell yes. And then I think grass will grow for a month. Then you do have to replant it. And yeah, starting tomorrow, I'll start letting Eva graze. Now, I am gonna do something similar in my story, where I'll have Neil or Dunhill, like, he says it's from Dunhill, but technically it can be considered from, like, either or. The cow can. But I am gonna include that in my story. Matter of fact, I actually have the first chapter pretty much complete. I just don't want to post it quite yet. I'll probably release this episode first, and then I'll release the first chapter. But yeah, I already have interesting plans for the second chapter. The first chapter is more or less kind of just an introductory chapter. So, but the second chapter, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy writing a lot more. And you'll probably enjoy reading it more than the first one. Alright, let's see. Check my bag storage. Yeah, 27 out of 30. If we get 3 more items, we're gonna bust, so yeah. 30 different items sounds pretty generous, but believe me, it gets to be, you know, very, very little, very quickly. Alright. Yeah, you can go in from the northern part of the town, and then you can go through the forest first, then the mountain, then the river. But I actually like going to the river area first, then the mountain, then the forest. That way when I come out of the forest, I'm right where Neil is, and I can give him his gift. It's very convenient. Yeah. I'm gonna check my storage space again. because I think we got like a new item. Okay, 28. It's the rosemary. We haven't gotten one of those yet since checking it last time. Have I pulled weeds yet? Okay, I have. Good. And then on the 15th, we'll get another very useful, very important character. I'll talk more about her later. And then on the 25th, we'll get another useful character. Yeah, luckily we get some of the best / most useful characters in the beginning. We don't really have to do anything. We just gotta get to the respective dates. Which is, for example, for Neil, that would be the 9th. I didn't want to cook some of these items into food. It just gets kind of tricky when you're running on such limited storage space. I think I got some copper. I probably shouldn't have sold it, but because I'm gonna need it pretty soon for my tool upgrades, but oh well. A character we're gonna get does sell it. And by the way, the general store sells grass seeds too. Try growing grass to feed your... What do you think I've been doing? What do you think that stuff growing by my barn is then? Marijuana? Yeah, I don't know if you watched the video, the first part yesterday. I mean, I know you watched, at least the beginning of it, but I don't know if you watched, like, the whole, the other parts yet, or the whole thing, or whatever. Yep, grass is grown. We'd have to remember to bring her back before we, end off the day. I don't know why, but I just like to milk the cow, save them, milking for last. I heard there was actually a certain combination of or order of treats you give to that, so you can give them so they can get 2 milks at a time, but No. Get back here. You're gonna go outside and you're gonna graze. Do you understand me? There. Good job. Wait, I don't, like, I'm a bit uncertain, like, do they only graze if you don't feed, like, if they don't eat, like, fodder? You know, there's, like, I've played this game since 2012, and even now, like, there's things I'm uncertain about. And yeah, the flowers, we'll probably sell some of them, but I also want to give them to the person we're going to be meeting on the 15th. So yeah, I'll probably be growing like even more flowers after these are harvested. Plus, at the end of spring is the flower festival, and then you can give flowers out to any of the characters. It doesn't just have to be marriage candidates, it can be anyone. Now this character is she's a marriage candidate, but only if, like, you know, for male players. Luckily, Marvelous did start to incorporate same-sex marriage into their newer games, but unfortunately not this one, so. But it's okay, you know. Neil's my favorite out of all of them anyway. I just know it's kind of a disservice to people who may prefer someone of the same gender. But I'm actually gonna try to actually not, like, if none of the grass gets eaten, I'm actually gonna try to not feed Eva. Tomorrow, and then, like, I'll put her outside again tomorrow and see if she'll eat, like, the grass that time. And if there's no difference, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep feeding her. Well, actually no, because she has fodder in her trough. So I would have to wait until it's gone to test that out. Alright, I'll still put her outside. I don't know if them being outside helps with, like, their stress or their friendship, but I can damn well test it out. Yeah, Emma, where the frick is she? Like, damn. Me, Neil, Dunhill, and Hannah, that's all that. Then where's Emma? Like, she just disappears. Like, I don't understand. I gotta get our friendship up. I mean, it's not like I'm in a rush to do so, because I still have to get to summer. You know, I have to get through the rest of spring. Then I have to complete the first 2 town restorations before I'm able to get the tailor, but you know, I like to it wouldn't hurt to get a head start, because if we start later, then we're just gonna have to wait even longer. So, just a rule of thumb I like to live by. It's good to get a head start on things. Oh, there. Okay, she's there now, but she's having lunch. Unfortunately, you can't give anything when they're just eating. You know, not that I'm doing it anyway. I'm just talking to her, but hopefully it counts. Yeah, she's either eating or off the face of the map, unless I get lucky and I still seem to catch her somehow. Yeah. The grass is still there. Oh well. And yeah, I know I'm going to bed early, but I don't really, there's not really much else to do besides, you know, take care of my animals and, you know, give Neil his big daily gift and, you know, water my crops. But yeah, the more we progress through spring, you know, the better things get. You know, now we have Neil, and next we need to get to the 15th so we can unlock the blacksmith. Alright, we know how to cook. I'm just gonna skip this. Yeah, I believe our current watering can holds 24 holds enough for 24 squares, which is the number of, you know, squares we got active right now. When we upgrade our watering can, not only will it, you know, allow us to water more crops at a time, but it'll also increase the capacity. Yeah, I need to buy, I'll buy some more treats from Neil, because he's gonna be closed on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I'll still put her out there because I don't know if it could help. Go on the fodder. Unlimited fodder. Oh. Alright. I guess this will be a good time to show you the open cutscene. If you're in the main part of, Echo Village when between 10 a.m. and 10 a.m., this will play every time. Now when it's, hold on, I'll explain here in a bit. Okay, usually I would go in that way and, come out that way, but since we're already at 10 a.m., then we can just go the opposite way. And yeah, we'll still be able to talk to Neil on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays when he's not working. He just won't be working, and he'll be a lot less professional. I'll show you. But yeah, each villager has like a preference of like, what they like and what they dislike. Neil, he likes treats. He doesn't love them, but he does like them. And you can see, he's smiling. Is this for me a treat? I like this. I was just thinking how I wanted one. That should say I was just thinking about how I wanted one. Took me 13 years to notice that typo. But yeah. In the wintertime, though, he will start selling yaks. And if we give him yak milk, he actually likes yak milk even better. So we'll get more friendship points for giving him yak milk instead. I don't know if I talk to him regularly or not. Alright. I'm gonna buy some stuff from you. Alright, I don't need fodder. We'll buy some more regular treats too to just give to him. They're the best item to give to him because they're the cheapest. Yeah, you could just give him milk from your cow, but it actually sells for quite a bit of money, more than the treats. So it's better to just sell the milk and just get some of the regular treats, and then the cow treats will be for my cow, of course. Alright. And we'll get more animals too. They're just hella expensive, so oh, you know what I could do? I could impregnate my cow, because Neil offers a impregnation for free where he will, you know, impregnate your animals, and it's for free, so you just have to wait, and then another animal will be born for free. I may think about doing that. Plus, I won't even have to tend to her for a while. I know that seems ironic, because you would think, a pregnant animal needs more attention, but they actually stay in this wooden crate thingy for until they have their baby. You can kind of interact, but you can't really do much. It'll just say something along the lines of, she's got a nocturnal look in her eyes. You can't really do anything else when they're pregnant. I kind of want to befriend my cow, though, so I can enter in festivals. The cow festival. So I'll probably just do that later. But that is something I do want to show off. Sooner rather than later. Now, once we get to the 20th, we can unlock fish traps. I don't know if we're gonna get to the 20th in this episode, but we should at least get to it in the 3rd episode. Okay, good. Emma's here. Did I remember to milk Eva today? Okay, I did. Yeah, that thing is a godsend, because sometimes it's hard to keep track of if you remember to do certain, animal care tasks or not. Alright, back in the barn. Okay, and it's actually easier to talk to Neil, if anything, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because you don't have to wait all the way until 10. You just have to wait until 8 after he's done eating his breakfast. And yeah, because the characters in this game, they have like very weird schedules. They have like 3 meals a day, and then like each meal lasts 2 hours. Like, who takes 2 hours to eat? And then breakfast is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And yeah, we'll skip today going into getting the forageables. Oh yeah, I forgot. I haven't milked you, haven't I? Oh yeah. Yeah, cows will get stressed out if you don't milk them. So yeah, it's important to do that. Now, sheep, on the other hand, you don't have to shear them. I mean, it's recommended to do so because you can use the wool for important items, or you could like sell it, but it won't stress out the sheep. But the cows, on the other hand, yeah, you have to milk them if you want to keep them in a good mood. Yawn. I'm so sleepy, Shauna. What's up? If there's nothing you need, don't bother me. Hello to you too, Neil. Alright, yeah. Very quick day today. Just give, crop and animal maintenance and give Neil his daily gift. I don't even know if putting them outside even does anything if they already have food in the trough. Okay, so today is a festival day. However, this festival is completely fucking useless on the first spring. Alright, so there's Winter Harmony Day and then there's Spring Harmony Day. They are based on, I like to think they're based on, Valentine's Day and White Day, respectively. Because, winter the 14th, that could translate to February the 14th. Spring the 14th could translate to March the 14th. Over here in North America and in, other countries, Valentine's Day is like a holiday where, couples, give gifts to each other regardless of gender. But in East Asia, like in Asian countries, for Valentine's Day, girls give, guys they like stuff, and then, a month later, guys will give reciprocal presents to the girls. But the problem is, your first Spring Harmony Day is, you regardless of if you play as a boy or a girl, you can't celebrate it. Because if you're playing as a boy, you're not going to get your first bachelorette until the day after. And then you have to give a marriage candidate something for them to, give you something in return the next, Harmony Day. Like, for example, if you're playing as a guy, well, I'm playing as a girl, but if, you're playing as a guy, you have to give one of the girls, one of those sweet things mentioned in the calendar in order for them to give you something in return the following winter. And then, the same applies to, if you're playing as a girl, you have to give one of the guys something in the winter in order to receive something in the spring. And, we're just beginning. We haven't had our first winter yet, so we can't really do anything with this holiday. And it's for giving girls something, so, we can't give anything to Neil for the holiday. We'll be doing that during Winter Harmony Day, to which we'll give him something chocolate related. But for now, we'll just give him regular gifts. And then when it's the flower festival, we'll give him some flowers. Oh, nice. She has half a heart now. Yeah, they do tend to gain affection slowly, but I mean that was only 5 days. 5 days for half a heart is not that bad. Sometimes it can take a couple of weeks just to gain half a heart with your animals. The weather's nice today. You can get lots of work done on days like this. Yeah, at least he's in a good mood today. Oh, cancel. I'm gonna give him a regular treat. Save the cow treats for Eva, because I think if you give them, if you give your animals animal specific treats, I think it does actually, wait. What if you give them like, both like a regular treat and an animal specific treat? I'm curious about that. Like in the same day. I'm gonna try that. I was gonna say giving them like animal specific treats is better than giving them you know, just the general regular treats. But if I wonder if if you give both of them in the same day. Hold on, sorry. Okay, 21. I thought I said 27. I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be buying a rucksack once it's summertime. Hold on, let me. What's this? Epic Gamer Launcher. Yeah, there was a blank icon on the bottom there, so sometimes I go in and just uninstall different stuff on my computer because yeah, I can make the computer bog down if you have too much stuff on it. Not to mention the pop-ups that you're always dealing with, Green Ethan. In fact, I know you joked about last night's Super Mario Galaxy episode being the pop-up episode. Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time you got a pop up while you were premiering, I'd be rich. Wait, hold on. Let's go back because I think I can sell some of the stuff I got. Alright, good news is we're finally going to meet Aroha. We're finally going to meet her, and she's going to give us some useful stuff. Alright, hold on. We're gonna meet her in a bit. We're just gonna get. We just have to get through this filler cutscene. She also tells us about the stumps that we already know. No, we're gonna meet Iroha. Yep, and she's gonna be like a blacksmith. I'm gonna be giving her the flowers that I'm growing because she actually really likes them. The treats that we've been giving to Neil, they only give him 300 friendship points, but the flowers will give Iroha 500 friendship points. That's why I'm looking forward to getting yaks. He starts selling them in the wintertime, and if you milk your yaks, you can give the yak milk to him, and he likes it better than, regular cow milk, treats, etc. That will give him 500 points. Yeah, we don't have an inn, unfortunately, but we discover something better for her. You'll see. Yep, this is where Aroha will be staying. There's even a forge so she can practice smithery or smithing. Yep. Exactly, see? It all works out. She's also going to give us an axe and a hammer, which are very useful. I don't think Neil's going to care. Emma might be excited, but knowing how Neil is, he's just going to be like, ugh, more people to deal with. Neil is one of those I hate everyone except my lover type of people. Even if you have like a pretty like high friendship with him, he'll still be rude unless you date him or like marry him. Oh, breadleaf. So that's or broadleaf. That's what they're called. I just called them round trees. Huh. And then I guess the other ones are evergreen trees. No, 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 no. Please don't be hard on yourself. I need these tolls. Yep. And I am gonna need to get rid of those godforsaken trees. And I'll smash the rocks into material stone. Now, like I said in the last episode, your first instinct is to, turn all your branches into lumber. But you really don't want to do that. You want to just, get your lumber from the trees, because there are plenty of them. Turning your branches into lumber, you're going to regret it, because you're going to keep getting all of these restoration plans that require branches, and then you're gonna regret it, because branches seem common like from at the beginning, but if you get to a later point in the game and then you just turn all of them into lumber, then yeah, it feels like it takes forever to recollect them. So yeah, you don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm gonna end it off right here, guys. Okay, good. I want to make sure not to overwrite my off-screen playthrough. Alright. I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Or maybe not tomorrow, but you know what I mean. In the next episode. Goodbye.